and welcome to another episode of Community Storytelling. And I'm Lissa Kreisler, and I have two friends here today. So I'm going to be honest right away. Julie Scopazzi and her dear husband, Tim Avery. We go back way. And you may have seen Julie or may see Julie often at Testarossa Winery because she's the marketing director.
You gave me a promotion. I'm the manager, but that's okay.
Oh my goodness.
I'll take director.
Okay.
Yeah, hear that, Rob?
Okay, I get a commission check for that one. But I haven't been doing this. You know, most of the guests have been nominated by someone, and we just go on and tell you their story. But I want to read what your nominee said of you two because it's just so beautiful, and it sets the stage for what we're going to talk about. Lori Beth DeHorty, and she wrote, Julie Scopazzi and Tim Avery wanted to pay it forward in a very real and meaningful way. They shocked all of us when what looked like they were going to become the permanent guardian for three siblings. They did not have any children. You had dogs. And now all of a sudden you have three children. It says, while their story has some hard parts to it, the thread that wins the day is that they never forget to love. Theirs is a love story of courage that needs to be told and heard. So isn't that beautiful? I know. Kleenex not included. I mean, so where do we start with this fabulous story?
So we actually do start with Tim has a daughter.
All right, I did not know that.
And we married later in life, and she kept saying, you should adopt, you should adopt. And we're like, yeah, we'll adopt. We had 4 dogs, the Brady Bunch. I had 2, he had 2, we blended. And then we said, well, you know, if we're gonna do this, we better do it because we're getting old. So we decided to stick our toe in the water and start with foster kids.
Wonderful.
And we went to Bill Wilson Center's foster family training.
Love Bill Wilson Center.
It was actually an info night where we learned that we could foster to adopt.
And this was what year?
2013.
Okay.
And so we went through those classes, and then we went to look through. When children are in foster care and their situation isn't going to get better, they are put into a book. It's kind of like the Foster to Adopt book. It's the long-term placement book. And so I would go every month, and Tim and I would flip through that book and see if there were kids that matched what we were looking for age-wise. We both work full-time. I couldn't have an infant because they need to go to school while I'm at work.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so we found 3 siblings. We were thinking
originally 1 or 2.
You were going to go for 2.
Yeah, 2 max.
I mean, I can't even believe that. You went for, you know, your daughter's grown up, I assume.
Yes, she's getting married next year, so she's 26.
And so you said, okay, we'll do 2. Why not?
But in foster care, there's 1 or 7. There's no 2.
Yeah.
So we found 3. And
what were the ages?
At the time, 7, 8, and 10. And my, at the time, 8-year-old daughter's face was just so sweet in that picture. It hit me. It got my heart. And I still tell her this to this day. She's got some issues dealing with the trauma of foster care and everything. And I always say, you were so wanted. It was your face. And your brother and sister just came along for the ride.
Yeah, came along for the ride. And what a great ride it's been.
Yeah, and they're great kids. One's in Los Gatos High School, 2 are in middle school. And they're doing great in academics, honor roll, sports.
But we're jumping ahead a little bit. So you had him how long as a foster child?
So they moved in March of 2014, and then March of 2015, they were reunited with their mom. So they were
was
taken
that
away.
Something they wanted?
No.
Oh, the mom wanted them?
No. Well, the mom has always wanted them.
But I call you mom too.
Yeah.
So
okay.
she wanted the 3 siblings.
She had been trying to, but she had an issue with drug addiction and was riding that roller coaster of sobriety. And they switched social workers on us from the social worker who selected us to be the adopted parents to a different one who was very focused on reuniting the family.
Did it matter what the kids wanted? Or did the kids want to go back?
The kids were still kind of young at that age.
Sure.
And they were very loyal to their mom, but we're coming to find out later that that was all out of fear, because now that they've got stability and have been with us for a while, they're feeling honest enough to deal with their trauma.
But they did go back.
They went back for 9 months.
And then here they are again.
Yeah. Well, during those 9 months, we were having them at our house over weekends.
Right,
for
we
like
never
2.
lost touch.
Yeah.
We said we'll help you whenever you need a break, and so I made sure we had the kids 2 weekends a month. She said you could have them every weekend, and I'm like, oh no, you need to be the mom now.
Right.
We'll help you out. We'll take them 1 or 2 weekends. So we kept in touch with them, and we really knew what was going on. I mean, case in point, the social worker rushed the reunification because the mom and the 3 kids moved into their aunt's dining room.
Okay. Okay.
So she wasn't ready.
No, she wasn't.
And as a result, it didn't work. And
So how long were they with her?
9 months.
No, oh, the 9 months, that's right.
And then she called us
She called you.
and said, I'm not in a good living situation right now. I don't want to move them to a different school again. Keep in mind, these kids have moved around every 4 months and had been in like 15 schools. It was pretty bad. So she says, and they like the schools at your house. Could we work out an agreement where you have them in the week and we have them on the weekends? And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of like joint custody, you know, where you're divorced and you go see your dad or other
Right.
parent every other weekend or whatever. So we said, yeah, we could do that. But Tim said, only if we do it through the county,
Yes.
not a side
Smart
bar
man. Smart husband over there.
So we did, and 3 weeks into the agreement, she was using again.
Okay. And so that was the end
Yeah, and
for
and-
everybody.
Right, and when a child enters foster care, they have like 3 years. The court gives 3 years for the case to be resolved and permanent placement to be found. If the parent isn't going to get better or they can't find other family members, then they look for permanent placement. And we were coming on that. The kids entered foster care in August of 2013. So in June of 2016, when we became their legal guardians, they were about at the end of that 3-year timeline.
And we even during that 9 months when they were back, we knew they were coming back to us.
Yeah.
We
You
just knew.
just knew. Let's just wait it
Somehow
out.
they were gonna end up
Let's
on our
wait it
doorstep.
out. So you're a family.
We are.
You're a family in every way.
With all the
except for
ups
maybe
and
the
downs.
last name.
Yeah.
But you're a family. And they're how old now?
Now they're soon to be 11, 12, and 14.
And you'll have them forever.
3 kids in puberty in the house at once.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You'll 2 girls, 1 boy.
Uh-huh.
So you'll be walking 2 other girls down the
Yeah.
aisle eventually someday.
They
in
all
addition
have
to
their
your daughter.
sights on Ivy League schools and great careers. And
Oh,
they never
unbelievable.
considered college when they moved in. So we feel that we were able to give them an opportunity, and in return, they're very respectful and responsible, good kids.
They call you
Julie and Tim.
Julie and Tim, just
Unless-
like me.
Unless other kids are around, sometimes then they'll call us mom and dad just so they don't
Really?
have to explain it.
And I bet you that gives you a smile, though.
It's
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
weird,
yeah. But it's funny because, you know, I'm Italian, Tim's American, and they are 3 Mexican children born in Mexico. So when all of us are together, you can tell that we're not all biologically a family, but we are a family.
You are a family.
We are a family.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And I just have to, before, and it's such a wonderful story. And Bill Wilson Center, you must be their poster parents, I would guess.
You know, there's a huge, huge, huge need for more foster parents.
Yes.
Right now, there's about 1,500 kids awaiting permanent placement, and there's only about 150 foster families in the county. With how many million people? 3 million people in this county, and there's only 150 foster families. And we need to upgrade the kind of people that become foster parents. I mean, you don't have to be a married couple. You could be a career woman. You could be somebody who's just never had children and wants to have children. You know, there's such a
Yes.
need out there. Same-sex couples, what have you. Your kids have moved on. You know, even seniors can become foster parents, really. There's just such a tremendous need. They need a soft place to land and a place to call home.
So, what would you real quickly suggest for somebody? Go online, go to Bill Wilson
Go to the
Center,
Bill Wilson
or
Center.
just go to Testarossa
Yeah.
and say, "Is Julie in today?"
Oh, but there's 3 Julies.
There's 3. Okay, Julie Scopazzi.
The Bill Wilson Center has informational
Yes.
nights, I think the first Thursday or something of the month. Just go to the
Oh,
Bill
right.
Wilson
Yeah.
Center and you can look it up. And it's an informational night. So you can just come
Yeah.
in and get info, talk to other foster parents, the different types of placements and stuff like that. And speaking of Testarossa, we could not have done this. I certainly couldn't have done this without the flexibility of the owners, Rob and Diana Jensen, because they gave me the flexibility to do what I needed to take care
Well,
of those
because
kids.
they knew how wonderful you would be.
Wow.
And they knew you saved
And
3 lives.
Diana is a CASA, which is a court-appointed special advocate, and she represents foster kids too
Well,
now.
they knew you and Tim were going to save 3 lives, which you did. So, a pleasure having you on. What a story, right? Community storytelling. It's all about people like Julie and Tim, and maybe you too. You can get a nomination for yourself or for anybody at kcat.org. And thank you for being with us here today at KCAT TV 15.